All right, talk a little Broncos here for a second. I was thinking about this over the weekend, and you and I have had draft conversations, and we'll get more into the draft as we get a little closer, but it's officially a month, right, from today.
1 month from today.
1 month from today.
My buddy Chad Ryder from NFL Network had a mock draft where the Broncos moved up for Tyler Warren.
What?
We're talking to him today on Orange and Blue Today to figure out what the hell is he doing.
Well, let's use some of his quotes to do this show tomorrow. That's awesome, though.
Okay.
He's the one that does full sevens, you said, right?
Yeah, because he's nuts.
Can you ask him about that, please? There's my question. How long does it take you to do a 7-round mock draft? And the follow-up to that is, why are you doing that? But hey, Chad, thanks for all the hard work, dude. Thanks for doing that stuff. So they do have their 7 picks in this draft. We know they address some major needs in free agency. And Cecil, you and I tend to look at it the same way. Best player available, unless it's like a quarterback. If you need a quarterback, well, I certainly feel like nothing else really matters until you have that quarterback figured out. And you know why I feel like that? Because I lived in Denver the last 10 years.
Right.
So let's look at these 7 picks and kind of, I don't know, pecking order, power rankings, whatever you want to call them. And text line, we'd love for you to play along. 7 picks, where do you put the order by position? We don't have to do players here.
Sure.
But
we
by
can do
position.
Players.
Yeah, right. I mean, if I were to tell you I'm still putting, there's 7 picks, 2 running backs and a tight end. I'm down to 4 right there. And I want that. I'm putting running back as a pecking order, first pecking order.
Yes.
And I'm putting times 2 right next to it.
Yeah.
So I'm down to 4 picks left because I want 2 running backs in this draft.
Yeah.
Unless they go get J.K. Dobbins, who's still just kicking it out there on the streets. And I still want a younger tight end that you develop so that by the time Evan Ingram's second year is over, maybe he's been great and you re-up as a reward, or maybe you can pull the plug because you got a guy sitting in the on the sideline that's just chomping at the bit to come and replace Evan Ingram as the
7 picks, right?
Yep, 7 total.
I'm down to 1 left.
Wow, really?
I want a running back, a tight end, a defensive tackle, and I want a running back, a tight end, and a defensive tackle. Both of these classes are thick enough that you could double up at both positions, at all 3 positions.
So you
defensive
still want
tackle is deep.
2 tight ends,
Oh,
too.
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yep. Evan Ingram's got like 2 years left, right? 2 years left.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
I don't want to be sitting here in 2 years thinking about, okay, well, you got 1 tight end because you drafted Colson Loveland or you drafted Luke Lachey or give me the name, it doesn't matter. I want to be stockpiled at that position. Some of your better teams out there have 2 tight ends. The Baltimore Ravens, and look what they can do with Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews totally not on the trade block. Can someone trade for him?
Yeah.
But he's totally not on the trade block. Like that's something you can utilize. If you talk about influence in a defense, you can influence it so much more when you have 2 tight ends. Then you can show heavy, hey, they're heavy, they're running the ball. They're not running the ball. They're throwing the ball because you have 2 tight ends that are legitimate weapons. Right now, based on Evan Ingram, you got 1. And Adam Troutman. You have Evan Ingram, a legitimate tight end, and then you have Adam Troutman, a legitimate blocker. I don't need that. I need someone out there that looks like they're a threat. They're a threat to do something with it after the catch. So give me 2 running backs, give me 2 tight ends, and give me 2 defensive tackles.
Okay.
And then your extra pick, I already know what that is. I'm down to 0 picks.
Is it a punter?
God, no.
Oh. Well, they need somebody, don't they? Don't they have to have, their words, didn't they want to have a body
punter
to compete
compensate-
with?
Yeah. It'll be somebody, and I'm sure people will be thrilled with that in training camp. Here's the other, and I have a specific player that I want. I want Kobe Bryant in the 3rd round. Cornerback from Kansas.
Okay.
So I want 2 running backs, let's say 1st round and 4th round, something like that. I want 2 tight ends, let's say 2nd round and 6th round. I want 2 defensive tackles, let's say 4th and 6th round. And the 3rd round, I want Kobe Bryant, the cornerback from Kansas. He is not Chris Harris, but he's kind of Chris Harris.
Okay.
And he's feisty, and he's mean.
Is he bigger? He's bigger.
No, well, he's got length. Like he's a little lanky, right? And he was named after Kobe. Spells it differently than Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
But Kobe Bryant, corner, Kansas, 3rd round. Make that pick happen, and watch this defense with some young, talented players. You can't rely on Riley Moss until you can. Availability is a skill.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
Bo Lowry needs to work that King Dingling magic on Riley Moss somehow, some way, so that he can stay healthy for a full season. We have yet to see that. So until we see that, I just need more athletic, talented bodies and personnel at the cornerback position. And to me, in the third round, Kobe Bryant makes a ton of sense.
I don't hate the name. You and I have talked about him specifically a couple of times on this show. So
he went up against all the CU guys at the Shrine Bowl. He went up against anybody that he was tasked with covering down there in Dallas, and he worked him.
Yeah.
He worked him.
I like that. I also have cornerback on my list. Like I said, I go running back ×2.
Okay.
I go tight end because I'm still in the business.
Not ×2?
No. I'm going to roll with Evan Ingram for 2 years, this younger player, and then you now give yourself a 2-year window to do this again and find another younger player and develop that person.
But that class isn't going to be like this one is.
That's true. Maybe I should. I actually have punter on my list. Should I kick punter off my list?
Yes.
Because you have 3-6. I'm just like, hey,
I am not drafting a punter. I'm not wasting a pick in this draft. This is a double draft.
He's out. I'm going tight ends ×2.
Well, I'll ask Chad Ryder from NFL Network. You got any punters on your list?
He's going to laugh at you.
Yeah, exactly.
So running back, tight end, I'll go with you, ×2. There's 4. Defensive tackle, I'm only going to go 1 there.
Okay.
That's my 5th pick. I'm also still interested in an inside linebacker.
Okay.
And again, it's not your first 3, right? It's not going to be at 20, 51, or 85. But if there's somebody there at 85, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Dude, we're talking about Dre Greenlaw, and we're talking about Alex Singleton coming off injuries. Now, Greenlaw's been much better in the past than Alex Singleton has, and I'm not a guy that's down on Alex Singleton, but they're both a little bit older, and they're both coming off of injuries. Significant for Alex Singleton. So I would like to have an insurance policy at the inside linebacker position. And I know they trust in Drew Sanders, but I don't yet. And I would like to learn a little bit more about Drew Sanders, the inside linebacker, before I'm just saying, yep, comfortable with that dude being the body in case things go wrong with the older dudes. Just give me a 4th, 5th round pick at, I don't think they have a 5th. Is that the one they don't have? At inside linebacker. And it's kind of it's like how you look at Audric Estime as a 5th round running back.
Yeah.
Hey, come into camp, man. If you show well, you're going to get a spot on the 53, and we'll try to develop you. If you don't show well, whatever. It's a late-round draft pick, and we'll just cut you. And good luck in the XFL.
I like it.
And then my last one is also a cornerback because of exactly what you said about Riley Moss. Are we high on Riley Moss? Would I buy Riley Moss the stock right now? Yeah, I would. But I'm not going to empty my bank account for Riley Moss the stock right now because there's still some more that he needs to show.
Guy that talked to the Broncos at the Senior Bowl is Cody Lindenberg, Minnesota linebacker. We're talking a lot about Minnesota today.
Yeah. They still one of ours. Let's steal one of theirs.
Exactly. So Lindenberg, 6'3", 240, and a guy that is a 3-down linebacker. Doesn't need to come off the field, can cover, had an interception. It was not a pick 6, but had an interception during practice. Always filling the hole. So Cody Lindenberg in the 6th round, that's where he's projected to go.
Perfect.
So that's a perfect spot. Kobe Bryant in the 3rd, Cody Lindenberg in the 6th. I like the ideas there for the Broncos.
Okay, Broncos fans, what do you say? RamosLaw.com text lines 303.